contractual terms and also pay his assistants. Let's not forget that Eric Shell has been paying his assistants from his pocket. The reported $45,000 monthly has been increased to $100,000. In addition to that, the NFF and NSC will also be in charge of his assistant's salary. And they've also given him another task, arduous as it is, but I'm sure he's up to the challenge. He's also tasked with the responsibility of taking under 23 Eagles, or Dream Team as we usually call them, to the 2028 Olympics at Los Angeles. Let's not forget that Nigeria won the Olympic tournament, football tournament, in 1996 at Atlanta. They also finished second in Athens in 08, and they won bronze at Rio in Brazil. And since then, they haven't featured in the football event of any Olympic Games. So it's been a long time. It's going to be 12 years. Hopefully, Eric Shell can change all that. Well, the Super Eagles have played quite well since he took over from the likes of Finidi George and Augustine Cerezo Eguavon. It's been different. The tactics and the performance levels have improved tremendously. So let's see if he lives up to the billing, as his contract has been improved, and also his assistants have also been, well, maybe that's something that is going to be the needed spark, because he's been paying them from his pocket. Now the NSC and the NFF will be paying them as it should be for every coach and assistant manager, especially in other nations. Be that as it may, the World Cup continued. Cristiano Ronaldo 2 days ago weren't here yesterday, so we couldn't give you, even though we put up all the news on our Facebook and YouTube platforms. But let's run through what happened 2 days ago. Cristiano Ronaldo finally arrived at the World Cup by scoring a brace against Uzbekistan, shutting all critics. I mean all critics. He has also become the first player to score in 6 World Cup events, and consecutive events, actually, whether consecutively or separate events. Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro became the first player to score in 6 World Cup tournaments, and he also eclipsed the 60-year-long record of Eusebio Luis Ferreira da Silva as the highest goal scorer in Portuguese history when it comes to World Cup events. Eusebio had 9, and that's a record that stood for 60 years until Cristiano Ronaldo broke it against Uzbekistan. He's also the oldest player to score a brace at a World Cup, and the second oldest player to score at a World Cup since our very own Roger Miller did it in USA 94, even though that match ended 6-1 in favor of Russia or USSR. Oleg Salenko, let's not forget, scored 5 goals in that particular encounter. So Cristiano Ronaldo has finally arrived at the World Cup. Other matches were played in that same on that same day when Cristiano Ronaldo set records. Of course, he had it all to do after the likes of Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, and Leo Messi has scored 4, 4, and 5 goals respectively. Leo Messi leads the scorers chart, but Cristiano with 2 goals. We know how it is that the most dangerous player in the world is Cristiano Ronaldo after he hasn't scored in the previous game, and he did that against the Uzbeks, led by the 2006 World and European Footballer of the Year, Fabio Cannavaro. Before we go into other news, other breaking news in the World Cup, we know that some African teams have done us proud, even though Tunisia, the Carthage Eagles, have proved to be the whipping boys of the World Cup. We would like to introduce 2 elite personalities in our midst today who are joining me for Sports Grandeur on 106.3 FM Benin. My name is Ohis Eboreme Between, and we have Coach and Madam
Mrs. Omorabon Doris.
Okay, Mrs. Omorabon Doris. Who are you, ma'am?
I am the president of Brainy Brain Chess Federation.
Okay.
Foundation.
And you, sir?
I'm the MD Idea Sports, also the Vice President at Brainy Brain Chess Foundation.
Okay, so what do you bring for us today? Why are you here?
We are here because we have a school league, a chess league that is coming up starting tomorrow. We've been with the schools for a long time trying to train them, prepare them for the league, and it's time now for us to bring them out to a particular place, which is the national complex at Limit Road. so that all of them can participate and we pay the best and continue to develop them from there.
All right. So, Mrs. Berry Samoragbo, you are the president of Brainy Brain Foundation.
Yes.
So you are the brain behind the chess tournament, right? The chess league.
Yeah.
Is it going to run for one day?
It's a one-day event.
It's a one-day event,
Yes.
and when is that?
It's 26th of this month. That is tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
And what time does it start?
9 o'clock.
No African time.
No African time.
9
The
is
payments
9.
are done.
Okay.
The players will just walk in and have their games.
So the participating teams or participating schools are
They are
which schools have you
Niger
selected?
College. Niger College is there. Ologbo Primary School. Edo College is coming. A host of others.
Junior and senior secondary.
Yes.
Okay. The other schools like
We have Itogo, we have Ogiomo, Oredo Girls, then Obi Primary School, Uwa Primary School. So all of them are coming. So we have both the primary, the junior secondary schools, and the senior secondary.
so
schools.
from 9 a.m. till
4:30.
till 4:30. Like I said before, no African time.
No Africa time.
Okay, because we hope to cover that event tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
So
So glad.
we also believe that what you have said today, you are going to stand by. No African time.
No
Africa
9 a.m. is 9 a.m.
Exactly.
So what do the participants starting to gain? What do they stand to gain from this league that you have decided to?
First is a foundation for them to grow. That's the first thing that we gain. But we also have some gift items like chessboard and other gift items.
Medals.
Medals, trophy, and all
No
that.
cash gifts.
No, for now, there's no cash gift. We are still working on that, but we don't want to promise that yet. Our major focus now is when we are not in the school, we want the game to also continue.
You have sponsors.
For now, we don't really have sponsors, but we thank God for our sport commission chairman, Mr. Desmond Nabulili. He's the one that also supports us. And we also have other people like the commissioner for labor and productivity. Then the PAMSEC, Ministry of Education. They'll be so supportive, helping us to put all this together. Yeah.
What bettered the idea of Brainy Brain?
It's chess is very big in Lagos and Abuja. So we want to replicate such thing in Edo State to make every child in Edo State play chess. Chess is a mental sport which develop the cognitive domain of the players. So if we have our children playing chess, it will help to take them off social vices and give them something to play with.
How long since this foundation has?
It's about a year.
Okay.
The foundation is about a year, and we have been in schools, in public schools for a year now.
So why public schools? Any particular reason?
Chess is a game for the elite. So we want to bring it down to the downtrodden, in quotes, so that when these ones embrace it, then it will grow faster.
So similar to chess in slums?
Yes.
Okay.
Tunde Onaka.
So was it that template you tried to replicate?
Yes. I was the deputy chief arbiter in the last tournament in Lagos.
Oh, great.
Yes, so want to replicate same here in Mexico.
Are you very good at chess yourself?
Yes, I have represented the country.
Okay.
Even in African games, I was third in a year in African Individual Chess Championship.
So you're a legend. All right. So yeah, it's an honor actually to sit beside you. So coach, we only met a few days ago, and we met under seemingly unfortunate circumstances, but that's how it is. Some things happen for also the good things to thrive. Yeah. So what do you think is the benefit of this chess tournament or chess league to the students in public schools? Let's not forget that sometimes the children of the elite also attend public schools.
Yes. I think, first of all, if you go around our schools, you see that the children, they don't have anything, they don't have anything to play with.
They are not
They're
engaged.
not engaged, yeah.
Properly.
Yeah, first thing, I think this chess league will redirect their energy and the create opportunity for them to through sports, because most of them that will discover through this league, I think will bring them to the states. You can represent the state in the National Youth Festival. Then that's a big platform for them to start, and can take them away from the streets, which is our major concern.
Okay, so a good distraction, something that will, because we have heard, for maybe in the last couple of months that a lot of people are now very addicted to drugs, especially on our streets. Even though this isn't sports related, but I'm also a journalist covering everything, and I'm interested in the betterment of the youths and for them to lead good lives. So maybe this chess league will serve, because it is also, in fact, it is especially mentally tasking.
Yes.
Yeah, so it will definitely set them right.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm happy that this has, hopefully it will be sustained, a
For sure.
consistent thing, not
Well, we
something
have
that
sponsors.
just be a one-off. I am sure that when people see the success of tomorrow's league, then they will key in, right? Then
That is what
you also have to do some promotional events, right?
Yes.
That will endear sponsors, because there's in our packaging and everything,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So the attractiveness of the league, irrespective of whatever else you think, is definitely going to put you out there, because people look at Tunde Onakoya. He started small,
Yes.
and now he's global.
Yeah.
He's everywhere, right? And he's making money. He's now selling chessboard for 1 million. So yeah, and yeah, I sent him a message this morning. I didn't even know that you already knew him and all that, but I was telling the coach that I was going to reach out. Unfortunately, I couldn't over the last 2 days, but I sent him a message this morning. Hopefully he will respond and we can continue from there. Since you know him as well, you can also reach out to him. I am sure he'll be very interested in something of this magnitude and definitely key in. So coach, are you interested in football?
I have a football team. I have an academy.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
as we speak now, my team is playing tomorrow
Okay,
against Namosa in Edo State Football League,
okay.
the Premier League. So I
So,
hope we win tomorrow.
so you know my bro Paulo Jesova.
It's my very good friend.
Okay.
That's my fellow since.
Okay, that's nice. So that's good. I didn't even know that. Yeah. So you are everywhere. You are multifaceted. You are
I'm
versatile.
a sport commissioner.
Okay. So how do you see the ongoing World Cup?
It's been so interesting, and I predict France to win.
Okay.
Yeah, I predict France to win, but I'm so happy hearing now that Cristiano Ronaldo scored 2 goals yesterday.
Where were you
Yeah.
2 days ago?
I have been so busy with this.
Because
thing, I've been so busy.
that is the major news everywhere.
Yeah.
He's the most followed human being in the world
Yeah, you're right.
on all social media platforms. So, in fact, his haters were also expecting him to score.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
There's no way they can stop
yeah,
him.
so-
You can't play with that.
They were also, because he's the greatest goal scorer in the history of the game. He's just 25 goals away from 1,000 career goals. This is not the one Pele and Romario said they scored at the back of their homes. We're talking about official games, right?
Yeah.
So it was expected that he was going to break that duck. People were highly critical of him.
Yeah.
And on that same day, Ghana actually held England to a scoreless draw.
Yeah, that was the match. Yeah.
Okay, you saw that game.
Yes.
So, how did you see the Ghanaian approach to the game? Were you expecting something different? Were you expecting them to be battled by England?
I predicted them to win because I know Africa is no longer a walkover like the way it used to be. If you look at all the Africa teams in the World Cup and see, you know that they are ready, and you can expect anything from them.
Well, not all. Tunisia. Tunisia did not come to this tournament. They qualify as quickly as possible, make minced meat of their opponents during qualification. Then when they get to the World Cup proper, they flatter to deceive, and of course they fall like a pack of cards. And that's what has happened. They lost the first match 5-1, had to get rid of Sabri Lamucci, their coach, brought in experienced Haverena, and eventually were decimated by the Blue Samurai of Japan by 4-0. So today, do you expect them to do anything different? They are facing Sweden, who have to win to qualify for the round of 32.
It's a game of 11-11. Anything can happen. Okay. They go there to go and watch. They also ready to go on with the trophy. So I think today is going to be a draw.
So you think okay? So Sweden got recently trounced by the Netherlands by 5-1 after defeating Tunisia by the same scoreline. So after defeating Tunisia by the same scoreline, so it is going to be Japan and the Netherlands, the Netherlands and Tunisia actually, not Sweden and Japan. Sorry. So do you think that Tunisia can do anything worthy of against the Netherlands? Against Tunisia? Yes, it's going to be Japan against Sweden. A straight shootout for maybe first place, because first place is still up for grabs. Japan 4 points, Netherlands 4 points, Sweden 3 points, Tunisia 0. So, like you said, maybe it's going to be a draw.
But if they are playing against Netherlands, I was thinking maybe they are playing against Sweden.
No, Sweden already trashed.
They are playing against Netherlands. Netherlands is a strong team. Yeah. And it's going to be a tough match for them. But like I said before, it's a game of 11-11. Anything can happen.
All right. So yesterday we saw Morocco. This morning actually, Nigerian time, we saw Morocco coming from behind to defeat Haiti by 4-2. Of course, they had that scare with Lenny Joseph of Haiti scoring the first goal. But yeah, the likes of Ismail Sabari, who Bayern Munich recently captured for 55 million euros. Ismail Sabari became the first striker from Africa, the first player from Africa to score in every World Cup match during the group stages, and the first to score 3 or more goals since Asamoah Gyan in South Africa 2010. Have you been following the Moroccan journey since the World Cup began?
I know Morocco very well, right from the Africa
Cup of Nations.
I know right from time their team has been a wonderful
since Mustafa Haji.
Exactly. Even now they're even better, and I think we are one of the leading African team now in the World Cup. So anything can happen. So
they were gifted the last Nations Cup because Senegal won it on the pitch. They won it in the bedroom.
That's Africa for you. You understand? I think there was a kind of a power play there, though it's not clear.
Yeah, because it is still the Court of Arbitration for Sport to still decide who eventually is going to be the champion of the last African Nations Cup. So for Morocco qualified alongside Brazil. Brazil actually destroyed the Tartan Army of Scotland by 3-0, and it saw the return of Neymar, who after 981 days featured for the Seleção, the Samba Boys of Brazil, managed by Carlo Ancelotti. Vinicius Junior scored a brace to take his World Cup tally to 4 in this tournament and became the first Brazilian player to score in all group stage games since Ronaldo and Rivaldo, Korea-Japan 2002. Jairzinho did it in 1970, Romario did it in 1994, and in all these World Cup tournaments, Brazil became eventual winners. In 2002, when Ronaldo and Rivaldo did it, Brazil won all 7 games from the group stages until the final under the great Luis Felipe Scolari, if we remember correctly. So that's how it has been at the World Cup so far. We know that yesterday as well, South Africa, against all odds, African teams decided against supporting them, and the hate watch didn't actually prove effective because South Africa rose from the dead and defeated South Korea by a lone goal to qualify alongside Mexico to the round of 32. So Bafana, for the first time in their history, and became the seventh African nation to qualify for the knockout stages of the World Cup. So Bafana, what do you think? From the ashes, they rose like the phoenix. So we all said no because of xenophobia. What have you? We're not going to support them. We withdraw our support. Not just Nigeria, the entire continent of Africa. But they've qualified against all odds. So do you think they can prove any stiff resistance against co-hosts Canada, who they face in the round of 32?
Yeah, I must be straightforward to you. I don't want them to win. That's the fact because
just like most people as well. So it's not just you. You are not alone.
I don't want them to
You are not alone, yeah, but they won't. They defeated South Korea. So man proposes
they need to learn something through this. Yeah. Before now, anytime they appear in the World Cup, you see almost all the Africa countries, they join together to support them.
They even hosted the World Cup 16 years ago. So, but this is the first time they are qualifying out of the group stages. So it's a huge one for them, despite everything that has happened. Politically and otherwise. So yeah, we don't wish them the best either. Yeah, but they are doing well. They lost their first match. They drew against Czechia and they defeated South Korea. So congratulations to the South Africans. Whatever it is, this is a sports show. We have to give honor to who deserves it, and they deserve the praise. And because Nigeria couldn't even make it to the World Cup, so right now it is men against boys. So South Africa, Bafana, congratulations on your qualifications to the round of 32. We saw that DR Congo, the Elephants, lost to Colombia. One goal to nothing. Daniel Munoz became the fifth defender in World Cup history to score in the first two World Cup games, joining his Colombian counterpart or Colombian colleague or Colombian teammate Yerry Mina, who did it in Russia 2018. We're looking at a situation where Crystal Palace players have scored 6 goals in this ongoing World Cup. Ismaila Sarr of Senegal has scored 2. Daniel Munoz of Colombia has scored 2, and Deichi Kamada, the samurai from Brazil, has also scored 2. So Crystal Palace players are doing very well at this World Cup tournament. I have a very, very soft spot for Crystal Palace. They gave me an opportunity to work when I was in the UK for my first master's degree, and I stayed very close to Selhurst Park. So the Eagles hold a very, very good place in my heart. So yeah, giving me that opportunity when I really needed something to do and all that. So yeah, their players are flying high at this World Cup, and it is good. While focusing on African teams, before we go ahead to talk about other teams of the World Cup, how has it been for the likes of Senegal, who, despite the fact that a lot of people expected them to at least qualify for the round of 32, they've been defeated by France and Norway. We can argue that France and Norway possess 2 of the best strikers in the world at the moment in Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland. But Norway shouldn't have beaten Senegal. If we can cut them some slack when it comes to France, they won the 2018 World Cup, almost won the 2022 World Cup. Kylian Mbappe scored a hat-trick there, but it wasn't to be. So they reached 2 consecutive World Cup finals. By the way, condolences to the French coach Didier Deschamps, who lost his mother and won't be at the final group game against Norway. Gilles Buffon, who is the assistant manager of France, is going to take charge of that game. Let's not forget that that was the opportunity for Didier Deschamps to equal the record held by Helmut Schön of West Germany as the only coach to have claimed 16 victories in World Cup tournaments. Helmut Schön is standing alone with 16 victories, Didier Deschamps 15, Luis Felipe Scolari 14, Mario Zagallo, the great Mario Zagallo 13. Mario Zagallo, Didier Deschamps, and Franz Beckenbauer, the Kaiser, are the only 3 human beings to have won the World Cup as a manager and as a player. And only 2, Didier Deschamps and Franz Beckenbauer, have won it as a manager who captained their teams when they were players as well. So they won it as player, captain, and manager respectively. And among those three, only Didier Deschamps is alive, as in January 2024, Mario Zagallo and Franz Beckenbauer died within 2 days of each other. So Didier Deschamps, condolences on the loss of your mother. He's back in France, of course. Family first. Without family, we are nothing. And that's why Jeremy Doku flew back to London during the embarrassing tournament for Belgium, and ensured that he was seated right beside his wife while she was delivering their first child, who they've named
It was a good decision.
Yeah, it was a fantastic decision. Like I said, without family, we have nothing. So even though he was unfairly criticized by a woman, a female journalist, who has since apologized, but he went, he came back, and everything is sorted. He's preparing for Belgium's make-or-mar final group game. And if Belgium cannot win that game,
that his wife was
pregnant. But that wouldn't have stopped him from answering the national team call. It's the World Cup. He played the first game. He didn't. He only missed one game, the second group game. So yeah. That's how it is. So concerning DR Congo will be playing their third and final group game against Curaçao, who have been the surprise of the World Cup, especially with their goalkeeper Eloy Rum, who made a whole 15 saves against Ecuador in the previous encounter. So don't you think the Elephants can get one past Curaçao?
Sure. They are my best Africa team.
Okay. So they are your favorite African team. Okay. So you think that they will defeat Curaçao? Yes. Okay. So they have good players. They have Amad Diallo. They have Judue. They have so many good players. They have Frankesi and so with Shingo and Co. So they can scale through, yes, right? Yes. Okay, on paper and predictably. So let's see. Football is not played on paper. So let's see how it goes. Senegal, they still have the opportunity to qualify for the round of 32 despite losing their first 2 games if they can defeat Iraq. Right, if they can defeat Iraq, of course they should be able to.
If they put themselves together, I think Iraq is not a strong team for Senegal to beat.
Okay.
Yes. You just need to do the correction and go there with determination, and they can do it.
So you think they should be able to get past Iraq?
Exactly.
Okay, because I keep saying Iraq because France trounced Iraq. Austria, Norway did the same thing. So if
have they won any match? I don't think so.
No, they lost to Iraq. Yeah, right. No, I said they lost to France 3-0, and they lost to Norway as well. So of course, expectedly, you have to lose to France. You have to lose to France, really. So you have said here that France will win the World Cup, and you are not far from the truth because they've got all the players from goalkeeper to striker. So, do you know anything about football? Let it not seem as if we're leaving you out.
I enjoyed the game, but the commentary is.
So you don't know anything about? You don't know any football player?
Ronaldo.
Okay, you know Cristiano, you know Messi.
Yes.
Of course, everyone knows Messi.
Yes.
Okay, he scored 5 goals in this tournament. He's the highest goal scorer. Of course, you expect that. He's now the highest goal scorer in World Cup history with 18 goals. And yesterday was his 39th birthday.
Wow.
Happy birthday to him. Yeah, so that's about Messi. So yeah, so going ahead, a situation whereby Mexico and Guillermo Ochoa actually had it brilliantly or yesterday when they defeated, they blitzed past Czechia by 3-0. It was a wonderful show by Mexico, who are co-hosts of the 2026 World Cup. They won their first 2 games. They haven't conceded all tournaments, so it's been a brilliant World Cup for them. They had Julian Quinones, who was among the scorers, and they've had a brilliant. Of course, they have Mora, who became the youngest World Cup debutant as well. So it's been plain sailing for them, smooth sailing for them up till this point. They've won all their group games. They deservedly topped their group, and they are looking at their next opponents in the round of 32. So that's exactly what is going on with Mexico. As for Canada, they lost to Switzerland by 3-1. Of course, Johan Manzambia and Ruben Vargas were chosen to start, and they rewarded the coach with goals versus Canada. And we have Nigerians playing for Canada. We have Nigerians, Tani Oluwaseyi and Promise David. Promise David actually scored the only goal for Canada in that encounter. You know, if your child has an opportunity to play for Canada instead of Nigeria, what would you say?
It's a funny question with the situation of this country right now.
No, it's not funny. You can be a patriot.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I love my country very well. I know.
But not to the point where your son will play for Nigeria instead of Canada.
Depending on, I will leave that for him to decide.
No, if it comes to you, I'm not saying of course we know his choice naturally. we have decided for him, but I'm saying you.
Before now, I will play a fatherly role to convince him to play.
No, sir. You have been we are saying it's a straightforward response. If your son has a choice between Canada and Nigeria, which one will you say?
For Nigeria.
Okay, yes. You from your standpoint as a coach, and this is a sports show. A lot of people are watching, so it don't seem as if you are marketing your chosen area of expertise. But we all know what you really want, what you really decide. So, Iwobi's father didn't tell him to play for Nigeria, and so many others, and a lot of people have. Said why have the likes of Fikayo Tomori, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Agbonlahor, especially those who didn't cut it, so didn't make the cut of England, Shola Anunoby and others, why they didn't play Tammy Abraham, why they didn't play for Nigeria. Even if you don't play for England and you get maybe you don't play for so long, you get called up 3, 4, 5 times. It is better than playing for Nigeria. I am a sports journalist. I've been for a long time, but truth is incontrovertible, right? Because the situation. Do you know that players like Obafemi Martins, players like Yakubu Ayegbeni are still being owed allowances from yesteryears? Right? It is that bad. So if you are going to it's a straightforward response actually, without trying to be patriotic or whatever. So let's hope that the Super Eagles of Nigeria can finally qualify for a World Cup after so many years. They failed to do that in the last one. The minister for the FCT was actually telling Yobo to tell the Super Eagles that he's not happy, that he's seeing nations that he's never heard of, he never previously heard of. Then the World Cup, a 48-team tournament for the first time in World Cup history. 48 teams participated or are participating in this World Cup, even though the likes of Haiti and Tunisia are at home. So Haiti will take the next available flight to back to their country. Tunisia will also do that. They are just playing for pride against the Netherlands, and we know they will lose. I believe that they will lose. Let me not speak for everybody else. So, but at this point, we are looking at a situation whereby African teams are doing well on the balance, right? Everybody can do well, but South Africa is doing well. CIV for now. CIV could have, that's your favorite African team, the Elephants, could very well have defeated Germany in that second group game, but unfortunately they didn't take their chances, and Dennis Undav decided the game for Germany. But they could have won. They had that game in their hands, and they were dominating Germany until we saw a reversal of fortunes. But so African teams are doing well. CIV, Senegal, even though they've lost to France and Norway, can still qualify. Morocco have qualified, South Africa have qualified, Egypt have all but qualified. So they're doing well. See, look at Cabo Verde. Look at their goalkeeper Vozina. Look at what Cabo Verde are yet to lose. Right? So if Cabo Verde can go into a World Cup and perform well, brilliantly, to utter astonishment, why can the Super Eagles of Nigeria not try to qualify for a World Cup? At least they were doing it. Morocco became the third African team to qualify for back-to-back knockout stages of the World Cup after Nigeria in 94 and 98, right? Then Ghana in 06 and 10. So we are seeing that the Super Eagles have set some records. They've done well. So the continuation of that will actually please everybody. We can berate them, there can be some banter, but inwardly, we love the Super Eagles. We want them to succeed. We would have been waking up without fuss at the middle of the night to watch the Super Eagles of Nigeria play their matches and happily support them. So hopefully they can be at the next one in 2030 and we will not have to berate them.
We hope so.
We will not have to berate them. We'll actually cut them some slack, because look at it this way. Our star players are getting old, and we know they're not using. Let's leave that aside. But our star players are getting old, right? Victor Osimhen, Ademola Lookman. Next World Cup they'll be 31, 32, 33. So except that's why I'm sure that's why they've given Eric Schell that task. Okay, now build players from scratch. The Unity Cup will sell some good guys from CHAN, right? There have been wonderful players who have emerged from CHAN tournaments. Just that we underutilize our young stars. We think that if you are playing for lower leagues, you are not good enough. But there are people who just need that opportunity. And from the NNL, from the NPFL, and from lower leagues in Europe and all over Africa, you pick good players, right? Maduka Okoye has effectively become number one goalkeeper again. Wabali is still looking, Stanley Wabali is still clubless at the moment. So the truth about life is that you shouldn't be too comfortable where you are.
Yeah.
Things can change in the twinkle of an eye. And Maduka Okoye is now the number one goalkeeper, did very well for Udinese in the just concluded Serie A season, had 10 clean sheets in the, and did quite well. So he has earned his position back, having worked very well. He decided not to, of course, listen to anybody. He decided to put his foot down and improve, because he had some issues, right? He had some problems with some schoolboy errors that I'm sure he's slowly cutting out of his game, right? He ignored some call-ups as well. I am not ready mentally. Chess is a mental game. If you are not mentally adept, then you lose it all. So it's more mental than anything else. So mentally, you have to be right there. Well, Venus Williams, who turned 46. Yeah, you heard that right. Venus Williams was 46 years old 8 days ago. She won alongside Alexander Ala. She won a match yesterday in Bad Homburg in the doubles. We don't have enough time, but I'm sure that we'll put them up on our Facebook and YouTube and other platforms that we are. But Venus Williams will be playing a quarterfinal match in Bad Homburg today. And while everybody is preparing for Wimbledon, Serena and Venus Williams will be playing doubles at Wimbledon. And Serena Williams was given the last wild card at Wimbledon as well. So it's all about the Williams sisters again. Who would have thought that in 2026 there will be Serena and Venus Williams dominating the headlines? But yeah, Serena has decided to come back to competitive tennis, and her sister Venus never left, even though she has been sidelined sometimes by Sjogren's syndrome. And let's not forget that Serena had pulmonary embolism in 2012. Despite that, they didn't stop her. She even won the Australian Open as a pregnant woman. She was pregnant when she won the 2017 Australian Open against her sister Venus. So I think she's done it all. She's won 23 Grand Slam singles titles, and she's won practically everything in tennis. But that hasn't stopped her from coming back. She's still hungry. You know, there's something about, she's 44. She'll be 45 in September. She's just 1 year younger than Venus. You see, you remember years ago when their father, they were about 11 and 10 respectively, when their father said they were going to smoke everybody when they eventually become when they eventually turn pros, and people laughed it off. And as soon as they came on the scene, WTA changed forever. They were defeating everybody in their way. Do you know that they actually played themselves in 4 consecutive Grand Slam finals from the 2002 French Open final to the 2003 Australian Open final? It was Serena and Venus
Williams.
facing off against each other. They've won Olympic gold medals. They've won everything on offer in tennis. And their father, Richard Williams, rightly predicted that they were special. Yeah. Together, they won everything. Individually, they won everything. So it's not rocket science. And they always tested at one point or the other. These people are playing exceptional. Let's see if there are some performance enhancers. You know, the Marion Jones of this world, how they were dominating athletics, track and field, and it's this Marion Jones. Something was wrong, and they tested, and of course, it was confirmed that she had issues. So that's how sports has taken black people to the pinnacle. In gymnastics, Simone Biles is black, and she's to me, or for me, she's the greatest gymnast of all time, and she's young. She took a mental break. She was depressed at some point, took a mental break, and came back and still dominated gymnastics. So let's look at World Cup games for today. Of course, we know that Group A, Group B, Group C, they play their World Cup third and final group games. So let's look at Group D and Group E and Group F. Start tonight. You know that because of time difference, we have to watch the matches at night. So all right, sorry for that. Okay, so Curaçao and Cote d'Ivoire. We know that when it is the final group games, they play simultaneously to avoid match fixing and what have you. So Curaçao, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador, Germany. They are not in this. They are going to be playing at the same time. They're in the same group, so they are going to be playing at the same time. Cote d'Ivoire will be playing Curaçao, and Ecuador will be playing Germany. Ecuador will be playing for pride. Germany already qualified alongside Mexico and co. Tunisia will be playing the Netherlands. We've talked about it. Netherlands complete with Brian Brobby, Cody Gakpo, Crescencio Somerville, who Manchester United are targeting. We also have Frankie de Jong, Tijani Reinders. Tijani Reinders was named after our very own Tijani Babangida, right? So we have Ryan Gravenberg, Memphis Depay, who is the highest goal scorer in Netherlands history, well ahead of Robin van Persie, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Klaus-Jan Huntelaar, Patrick Kluivert, Dennis Bergkamp, Marco van Basten, Johan Cruyff, and others. He's always starts from the bench nowadays. So Brian Brobby, who his coach dismissed at some point that he wasn't. In fact, it was the great Marco van Basten that said that he wasn't going to do anything as a striker in his career, but he scored 2 goals against Sweden in the World Cup proper a few days ago. So sometimes when people say you can't do it, don't let their words weigh you down. Don't let their words decide your fate. Make sure you can take it up a notch yourself. Let that be a motivational tool for you. Nobody has the right to tell you can't do it, but I'm not a motivational speaker, but let's go on. Japan, Sweden, the Blue Samurai versus Graham Potter, Sweden. Sweden complete with Victor Gyökeres, Alexander Isak, Yasin Ayari, so many good players for Sweden. But Japan, Daichi Kamada, Ayase Oeda, Kubo, they have very, very good players. Let's see how that pans out. Tokyo will be playing already qualified United States of America under the great Mauricio Pochettino. I call him great because he performed wonders at Tottenham, even with limited resources.
I trust some of US into the group stage?
No, they have done it many times.
Okay.
The tournament they hosted in '94.
Okay.
Yes, they qualified. And you know who was their coach? Our coach in France '98, Bojan Milutinovic,
Okay.
was their coach in US in '94. So Paraguay, Australia will also be squaring up. Then Norway, France. I think that is the standout match. That'll be tomorrow night. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. The matches tonight: Tunisia, Netherlands; Ecuador, Germany; Japan, Sweden; and Turkey, USA, as well as Paraguay, Australia. So that's exactly what we have for the World Cup matches that will be played tonight and the early hours of tomorrow Nigerian time. Let's not forget that the likes of England have it all to do. Croatia defeated Panama by a long goal. England couldn't put any team past Ghana. They had 79% possession. England's 0-0 draw versus Ghana was their 13th 0-0 draw in World Cup history. That's 4 ahead of any other country. I think the next is Brazil. England have had more 0-0 draws. Nigeria is there. In Korea, Japan, England had a 0-0 draw versus Nigeria. Remember Vincent Nyama and his heroics under the late Adegboyega Onibinde. We had the likes of Julius Agawa, Joseph Yobo, Femi Opabumi also debuted, was just 17 before we heard that he became blind. Yeah, so many Nigerian stars have met unfortunate. Yeah, so look at Rashidi Yekini. So legendary guys that people that could have done this away from football. I saw something that Mr. Ibu's children and his wife are begging, right? So it shows that we do not take care of our people well. Mr. Ibu is Nigeria's equivalent of any comic actor breathing in the US or anywhere else. So he's a legend. So Mr. Ibu did every Sam Loco when he was going to be buried. People were looking for how to buy land, a plot of land for him. I was in the UK then, but I heard that. So it just goes to show that's why your son cannot choose to play for Nigeria over Canada. It's not possible. Anyway, thank you very much, Mrs. Doris Amorabon and Coach Aituari Igbinedion. My name is Ohis Eboreme, and this has been Sports Grandeur on OJ 106.3 FM Benin. Till we meet again, continue to follow us on all social media platforms. Don't forget that we're live on YouTube, Facebook, we're everywhere else. So make sure you always tune in. Signing out. Cheers.
Let me just snap this. Second follow immediately.
Okay.